your child to parent-teacher conference? My answer for this is yes. You should definitely bring your child to parent-teacher conference unless the school has a specific rule against it. This is like taking your child to the doctor, right? Once your child is old enough to go to the doctor and tell the doctor what they're feeling and what's wrong and what's bothering them, does it make sense to leave your child at home when they are the ones that are experiencing the symptoms? No, right? Because I can only go to the doctor and tell the doctor what my child has told me. And I can only tell the doctor what I have observed as symptoms my child has. But when I bring my child with me to the doctor's office and the doctor can now speak directly to my child and speak directly to me at the same time, it is much more effective. It saves time, right? I don't have to go back home and then ask my child another question and then call the doctor to confirm that this is indeed what he diagnosed. I don't have to go home and then have my child explain to me that what I said was incorrect, that they didn't mean it that way, or that they're not feeling that feeling anymore. When my child is with me in the doctor's office, my child is able to speak directly to the doctor, and also I'm able to hear the conversation, and then the doctor is able to speak to me about the diagnosis and about what I should be doing at home to help my child feel better. The same applies to parent-teacher conferences. When you bring your child to parent-teacher conference meetings, what happens is whatever the teacher is saying about your child is now heard by you and your child at the same time. More than likely, the teacher has already communicated with your child about whatever it is they are now telling you. Your child is already aware because they've spent months in the classroom with this teacher. Teachers have conversations with students on a daily basis. So more than likely, your child is already aware of exactly what the teacher is going to say. There should be no surprises. There should be no surprises whatsoever to your child when they go with you to parent-teacher conferences. So what I want to know is, do you bring your child to parent-teacher conference meetings? I'd like to know that. If you'd like to drop that in the comments, do you bring your child to parent-teacher conference meeting? I'd love to read your thoughts right now. Okay, there we go. Do you bring your child to parent-teacher conference meetings? Yes or no? And after you say the yes or no, tell me why. Why do you bring your child, or why do you leave your child home? One thing, I can see Haley running around now. One thing that I've noticed in Facebook family groups, Facebook parenting groups, parents are worried about bringing their child to parent-teacher conference. If you are one of those parents, I would really love to know why. Why are you worried about bringing your child? Are you worried? Yes. Okay, can you get my water bottle? See the blue one? Get some water from there, okay? Why are you concerned about bringing your child to parent-teacher conference? I apologize for that. What are you worried about? Are you worried about your child disrupting the conversation? Are you worried about your child hearing an adult conversation? What are your personal concerns? I would really love to speak to you, speak to your issues, to speak to your thoughts. Because one thing that I noticed is that when the child is in parent-teacher conference and they're sitting there across from their teacher and next to you, they exude this adultness. They know that this is a meeting. They know that this is an adult conversation, and they are able to behave in the appropriate manner for the environment that they are now in. So if you're worried about your child being a disruption, the opposite happens. Your child's behavior shifts as they sit with you across from their teacher and start the discussion about what's going on in class. If the issue is something else, please share it below. I'd love to hear it. Yesterday, my husband and I went to Sophia's parent-teacher conference, and I want to share this with you because, as you know, Sophia is in preschool. we came into the room. I had Sophia with me. I had Haley with me too. And her teacher said, okay, girls, go play. That made me a little uncomfortable because my plan was for Sophia to sit the whole time, but it's her classroom, so that's fine. We spoke with the teacher. We got Sophia's report card, and we had a nice conversation. One thing that she mentioned was that Sophia has really great capabilities, but when she's in a group with her friends, even though the teacher knows she knows the answer, Sophia will not initiate giving the answer. So she kind of like wants to fit in with her friends, and so she will hold back sharing the answer even though she has the right answer. So what I did in that moment was I called her over. Sophia, come over here, come sit with mommy and Miss Alice and daddy. And she sat down, and I said, Miss Alice just told me that sometimes you're a little shy about giving the right answer in class. And Sophia kind of, yeah, she got a little mopey, and I reminded her she's not in trouble. What we're trying to do is to help her feel good about sharing what she knows. And Sophia, yeah, it's on the computer desk. Sophia was able to join in that conversation, and she was able to listen to me and Miss Alice at the same time as we discussed how good it is that she knows the answer and how cool it is that she can share the answer with her friends in class. The fact 3 adults were able to sit with Sophia and help her feel good about the fact that she knows answers to things even though her friends do not. How much more powerful is that than just coming home to Sophia and saying, your teacher says that you don't like sharing your answers in class because your friends don't know the answers. This is now secondhand information, but when the fact that Sophia was there with us in the classroom, it was a first-hand conversation, and it was much more powerful and much more effective. So she's 4, and she was able to sit there. She felt good about sitting there between me and her father, across from her teacher, and having this conversation. So if you are worried about your child potentially hearing something that they don't want to hear, or hearing something that makes you or your child uncomfortable, table those feelings and let your child have the experience of being able to address concerns directly with their teacher, with you there as a support. Especially if your child is older. So if we're heading into 2nd grade and up, this is a great opportunity for you to help your child learn self-advocacy. For example, let's say something occurred in the classroom and the teacher is now telling you something that happened with your child and maybe another child, or with your child in the class setting between your child and the teacher. With your child sitting there, you will now be able to hear the teacher's perspective and your child's perspective at the same time and come to a full understanding. This is important because let's say this was something you did not want to hear or you were not expecting. And now you have to wait until you get home to hear your child's side of the story. What's going through your mind on the way home? How are you feeling on the way home? You're frustrated. You're concerned. You're worried. You weren't expecting to hear this information. You didn't even know the situation occurred. And now you have to wait until you get home and then have your child tell you, Ma, that's not even what happened. He pushed me first when Miss Kevy wasn't looking, and then when she turned around, she saw me moving my chair away and thought that I was causing the problem, but I wasn't. If that information had been shared at the meeting, Miss Kevy, I don't know why I made that name up, and your child would have been able to come to an understanding, and you would have felt relief right in the moment because now everyone is on the same page. Bringing your child to parent-teacher conference is, hello! Oh, I can see. Oh, this is awesome. I should do this more often. Hi, Almu. Hi, Sheldon. Bringing your child to parent-teacher conference allows for immediate results to occur. Immediate results. If there's a concern the teacher has and your child is there and you are there, immediately you can start the process of improving whatever that issue was. If your child has a concern, the teacher's there, you're there, your child is able to voice the concern, and now immediately your team of three, you, your child, and the teacher, are able to figure out how to address it. You do not have to wait to get home. You do not have to have any kind of follow-up, because the three people who are most important to getting the results you're looking for, to getting the results the teacher's looking for, to getting the results your child is looking for, are in the room at the moment. So if you are feeling a little anxious, if you're feeling a little doubt about bringing your child to parent-teacher conference, I would love for you to comment below and share why. But give your child the chance to have an adult conversation about their own growth, about their own progress, about how they're feeling in the classroom. One thing that I've noticed with some clients that I've worked with in the past is that the teacher would like for their child to ask more questions. The teacher would like for their child to be able to ask for help when they need it. Parent-teacher conference meetings, when you bring your child and your child gets to talk to the teacher without any other children around, without any distractions around, that builds a relationship that doesn't get to naturally occur in the classroom. That builds a level of trust between your child and their teacher, because now they can talk to each other and have a real conversation without worrying if other children are around, without the teacher's attention being divided, and your child will be much more inclined to ask for help, to reach out to the teacher in class during class time, because they've started this new type of relationship during the parent-teacher conference meeting. If that is something your child is usually not used to doing, they're not used to a lot of adult conversation outside of your family, this is the perfect opportunity to start initiating that, because they're going to need it, especially as they get older and they head into middle school and high school, where they have multiple teachers and you might not have the chance to sit and talk to each and every one of those teachers. When your child is able to feel comfortable advocating for themselves, communicating with the teacher directly, that is going to get them so much further in the classroom and in life, because now they do not have to wait to speak through you. So, please share your thoughts and concerns. How about, here's a question from Almo. How about if the school doesn't allow us or would prefer to leave our children outside of the meeting? I would definitely, if the school doesn't allow it, Almo, I would definitely shoot an email to the teacher, and I would request that there be a Tuesday, because as we all know, Tuesdays for New York City, teachers are required to have extra time in the school to be available to parents to talk. So a Tuesday afternoon or a Tuesday morning, mornings we're usually working, Tuesday afternoon, where we could potentially schedule a meeting and bring our child to the meeting. If the teacher suggests that the child sit outside of the room, or like what happened with Sophia, she sent Sophia over to play, split it. Say, okay, if we'd like to talk privately for a few minutes, thank you for that, but I would like for my son or daughter to come in for the last half of this meeting, or for the last few minutes, because I do want them to be able to talk to you one-on-one. You are entitled to make that request. In fact, the teacher should look forward to that because of all the things that I just mentioned. Teachers are aware that this really does help build the relationship, and if they're not, let them know. I really think that my child sitting here with us will help build your relationship with them. So I would like for them to come in and sit with us as we discuss what we're about to discuss. Thank you for that. So shoot an email beforehand. If you think that this is something the teacher might do, have your child sit outside or have your child go off and play, you can shoot an email beforehand and say, Alberto will be joining us in this meeting today. Bam, just like that. Let them know my child is going to sit in. And if they respond and they're uncomfortable, it is what it is. There is nothing that a teacher cannot say in front of your child. And if there is something they think they need to say and your child not hear it, then that should be addressed, because the child should already be aware of what's going on. And if they're not, the child should be hearing it firsthand from the teacher. Yay, I hope I answered that question. I'm going to pin this comment, Almu, because it's an awesome, awesome comment. I'm going to also reply to it in the thread. All right, let's turn that on. So, any other questions, thoughts, concerns? I see we have 3 viewers. Can I see you, viewers? Like, let's see if I click this button. What happens? I don't want to lose anything, though. I'm nervous. Sherry Ann. Hi, Sherry Ann. She's in 2nd grade. 2nd grade. If there is no rule in the school that you cannot bring her, bring her. That's an awesome age. I mean, we're talking about a 7-year-old. She's definitely able to hear what the teacher has to say and respond, give her thoughts and opinions, and you get to see her interact with another adult, and it's so amazing to be able to watch that interaction, to see your child communicate their needs or to respond to a teacher's request in live time. You'll love it. And that will help your child, that will help your daughter to feel so much more comfortable advocating for herself when you're not around, because you made that a norm by allowing her to sit there and express herself right there in the meeting. Awesome. Oh, they like this. We have no rule. I've been taking her since pre-K. Yes. Yep, that's what I'm doing with Sophia. She's coming in all the time. And if there is a rule, then I'll be scheduling a meeting, even if it means I have to work that meeting around my workshops or work that meeting around my clients in the evenings. That is a priority to me, that Sophia be able to talk to her teacher and have that relationship with the teacher. So I'm going to find a way to make it work. We've got a new comment. Brenda, hi, Courtney. We have always tried to bring Emilio to parent-teacher conferences. Awesome. Brenda, do you notice a difference when you bring him to parent-teacher conferences? Do you appreciate how he interacts with the teacher within that meeting? Share with us. I love hearing these thoughts. We want her to be able to be comfortable, to trust and be comfortable with her teacher. Yes, exactly. I already read Brenda's comment. Bringing your child to a parent-teacher conference, allowing your child to advocate for themselves, allowing your child to explain their side of the story, because it is important, allows for your child to have a better relationship with the teacher, and it allows for your child to recognize that it is their responsibility. They are held accountable for their actions in class, for the work that they do, and if they have an explanation for either of those, they are responsible for sharing it with the teacher and with you. It is the perfect opportunity to do this. Awesome. Oh, this feels so good. I'm so glad I can read the comments now. I think I'm going to do this every week. Well, every live. Awesome. So, there's Sherry. Yep, I think we got it. All right. So, share. If you're catching this on the replay, please feel free to comment as the information comes on the replay. I want to hear all of your thoughts. I want to hear your concerns, because I'm noticing that this is a trend, that parents are finding babysitters to watch their children while they go to parent-teacher conferences. And, right, that's money we could potentially save because we want our children at parent-teacher conferences. All right, yay! So I do want to thank you for tuning in. As I mentioned before, please share this on your timeline. Share this, tag your friends who have parent-teacher conference this evening. I want as many parents as possible to see this live before they go, because if we can potentially have 10 more children in parent-teacher conferences that would not have gone tonight, then I would feel extremely powerful. I will also be going live tonight for parents who did go to parent-teacher conference. I would love to hear your thoughts and concerns on how it went. And if you brought your children, if you plan to bring your children and you actually take them with you tonight, come to the live tonight. It's going to be a little on the late side, but it's going to be about, I'm going to say 10 o'clock. We're going to go live, and we are going to talk about how the first batch of parent-teacher conferences went. If you are going to bring your child and you take them, I would love for you to come and tune into this live, because what we want to do is encourage the parents who are going Friday to do the same and bring their children with them. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. I do want to thank my participants, both the live participants and the participants who are going to be commenting on the replay. Almu, Sherry, Brenda, thank you for tuning in. It was so great to speak with you all. And I hope that this was as informative as I intended it to be. I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was. I'm going to confidently say I think it was. That's not confident. Whatever. Stay focused, parents, and have a really good evening. I did it, Hayes.